Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So, guys, just a quick video. Terence Crawford. I don't really like Terence Crawford. He's a real guy. There's a lot about Terence Crawford that, you know, we should admire. I mean, I think he's a great fighter, and I think he's a great human being as well. He's true to himself. Terence Crawford basically said that he has no interest in fighting Canelo Alvarez, that Canelo's too big for him, and he's not interested in that fight. You know, Spence and that were talking about Canelo, but Terence Crawford keeps it real. And I mean, Terence Crawford has kept the same energy throughout, that he's no interest. He is of no interest of fighting Canelo, because Canelo's just too big. And I think Terence Crawford understands, he realizes that that'd be a silly fight. That would be a silly fight, because you can't go in a ring with somebody that's way bigger than you. And Terence Crawford knows he may even be a better boxer than Canelo. But he knows that at the end of the day, the size matters, and Canelo's a very good boxer in his own right. And Canelo will get him. And people, some of the Canelo fans may not like that, but I do think Terence Crawford, I do think Terence Crawford's a better boxer than Canelo. I think Terence Crawford has the kind of style that would... The only difference is between Spence is that, and Canelo, is that Terence Crawford was able to hurt Spence. I don't think he'd be able to hurt Canelo, irrespective of the weight, because I think Canelo's that good. So that would be an interesting fight, irrespective of the weight. Not necessarily, I don't think the fight will never materialize because of the weight difference, and I think it's not really a fair fight. You know, I don't think it's a really fair fight. Crawford's a guy that came from lightweight. You know, Canelo Alvarez, I mean, made his career debut at 16 at what? Welterweight. So, I mean, the size difference is massive between the two. And you know, I just don't think that would be a fair fight at all, to be honest. But having said that, if Canelo was still at 155, then I would have said, you know what, that would have been a good fight. That probably is a fight that should happen. But as Terence Crawford said, it's not just the weight, it's the weight that Canelo would rehydrate to that would be an issue for him. Because, like, you don't really want to be that much. Like, I think it's dangerous. I don't think there should be that much of a weight difference between two fighters on fight night. I think it becomes very dangerous, because effectively, you know, you're in with somebody that's a lot heavier than you. That's very dangerous as far as I'm concerned, especially when it's like 5 to 7, maybe even 10 pounds, not too much. But when we're talking about 20, 30, 25 pounds, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. And that for me is borderline dangerous. So yeah, that's not something that I am, I would say that I would endorse. I don't think that's something that I think that fighters should be doing. I don't think they should be going in with ring with fighters that are way bigger than them, because I think it could be potentially dangerous. And this is already a very dangerous sport. So yeah, that's not something that I tend to agree with. I think Crawford is happy and content with where he's at. And look, Crawford even said, look, I haven't got long left in the sport. I'm going to retire soon. And that's it. That's Crawford for you. Crawford feels that he feels that, you know, he's had his day in the sun. He's obviously been a special fighter, a great fighter. And he feels that he's 35, 36, he hasn't got long left. I think what Crawford is probably motivated by is the Jamel Charlo fight. And I'm actually going to do a video about that. But yeah, I think he's motivated by that. I think he's motivated by that fight. I think he probably wants to fight Spence, because that would be a big payday for Crawford, that Spence fight. And then obviously if he can fight Charlo, that'd be another big payday. And the only thing is now is, I think he would. I think if I personally thought that maybe Al Heyman might have second thoughts about that fight, because he doesn't want another one of his fighters get beat by Crawford, especially when Crawford's already become undisputed, and Al Heyman doesn't really have Crawford as a fighter. Would he want to go inside and go in the ring with another one of his undisputed fighters, and potentially lose that as well? So yeah, maybe Al Heyman's just now in the business of making the big fights. Who knows? He might not care about that. But yeah, I do think Crawford's a very smart guy. I do think Crawford is sensible. I think Crawford knows that, you know, you can't compete with guys that are way bigger than you. And I think Crawford's smart. And I've said this. That's why I think Terence Crawford should be admired. Because I think he knows his limitations. He doesn't want to do stupid things, and he's content with where he's at. He's content. He's not thinking that I'll fight Canelo, I could make crap loads of money. He's thinking my health is more important. And that's what I like about Crawford. I like his simplicity. I like the fact that Crawford thinks about these things. And that's why I think he's a lot smarter than all these other fighters. Right? Because Crawford, although he wants to be paid, I don't think he values money over his health. I don't think he values money over his respect, his dignity. There's a lot of things. I mean, I saw a video with Crawford saying that, you know what, when I first came out of the Olympic trials, he goes, there was a lot of promoters and that coming at me and saying that, you know, you have to leave Omaha, you have to leave your team. I think the team that you've got have got you as far as they can get you. And Crawford was like, he basically told him where to go. And I was like, this guy is unbelievable. Like, if that is true, which is most likely is, then Crawford, he literally didn't turn his back on his team. And let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Like, I'm all for trainers make a big difference. When you have a good bonding, they have a great strategy, they make a big difference. But at the end of the day, right, Crawford is just special. Like how Bomac hasn't really, I don't know, he's not really worked with a lot of other guys. I know he worked with Amir Khan and Jamel Herring as well. You know, so Bomac, he's now built up a name because of Crawford. But let's be honest, Terence Crawford, a fighter like that is very, very good in his own right. You know, so you need to fine tune, come up with a game plan. But Terence Crawford is so smart in there, so good himself. It'd be good, like when Crawford does retire, if Bomac does carry on training, it'd be good to see who he can. But let's be honest, Bomac's worked with Crawford from the day dot. So Crawford initially wasn't as good as he is now. So you have to give the trainer and his team credit, because the team that he was working with, right, were there from day dot. So you have to give people like Bomac credit, because he's not like he's taken a world champion and just like been with him. No, he's taken him from when he wasn't even that developed. So that's what I mean. You have to respect that. And Crawford, for me, just things like that builds your respect for Crawford, that he stayed loyal to his team. He could have easily, like when he became big, gone to a bigger trainer, or when he was offered. Because sometimes the reason why those promoters are saying that, because they don't think you can develop under the current team. So they're probably thinking that why am I going to sign you if you're not going to give yourself the best chance? Because the promoters, if they're going to spend money on you, they want to make sure that you've got the best team so that they want to know that this guy has got a chance of making it, and he needs the best people around him. So that's probably why those promoters said that. But Crawford had belief in himself. He had belief in his people around him and belief in his team. That's why Crawford said, no, I'm not doing it. And basically he said, then I met Cameron Duncan. And then he said, I told Cameron Duncan that, like, with or without you, these people are coming with me. So whether you take me or not, these people are going to be with me. And I think Crawford's had very tough times. Like, he hasn't had like a red carpet. Crawford's had it hard. I remember, I think his breakthrough was, Bradley says, when he came and sparred Bradley. I think that's when Bradley realized, well, this guy's got serious talent. And I think Bradley said ever since he was like huge on Crawford, because I think he probably realized that this guy's serious, man. This guy's unbelievable. And look where Crawford's gone on to achieve. Because you got to realize, Bradley was at that time, I think he was a unified light welterweight champion, you know, at the time. So Bradley said, I was established, and this guy came in and he was like, this guy was ridiculous. And that's when I realized that, oh, Crawford's another level. And let's be honest, Bradley has been saying all along that, you know, Crawford will beat Spence, you know, comfortably. And he did, man. To be honest, he beat him easily. And I think now people are now giving him the credit that he probably didn't get before. But it was the way he dismantled Spence. Nobody expected him to beat Spence the way he did. And he beat him so bad that people actually now saying that, you know, Spence wasn't the same, this, that, the other. But that's how badly he beat him. But yeah, in terms of him fighting Canelo, no, I don't think that's a realistic fight, to be honest with you. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.